How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Here's what we're going to do today. My brother, in the last video, he's like, hey, why don't you drop down some of your favorite fishing memories? So I was like, that's a great idea. That's a good idea for a video. I mean, we're doing these sit-down type videos anyway. We will probably be doing these for just 3 more videos that you guys sit through. The next couple will be more informal, showing you guys how to do a little bit of stuff. Got some neat ideas coming out of here. So, before that, what I wanted to say, I'm a media nerd. This is what I went to school for. It's what I'm interested in. You know what my analytics are telling me? So I was looking at them, and it shows that a lot of y'all that are watching my videos are not subscribed. That's, not really super surprising to see that, to see the, the statistics, the analytics of it all. Not surprising, but here's what I need y'all to do. I need you to subscribe. If you're already subscribed or you just subscribed, hit the notification bell. This will tell you when I upload. Because I filmed this video literally yesterday, filmed it all the way through, and you know what happened? There's no audio. I don't know what happened, just no audio. I was getting ready to upload it, and I was like, son of a motherless goat. Anyway, getting into the video. I appreciate all of you guys for watching. That really helps me. Share this video on your social, comment, drop a video idea down below, because honestly I'll do them. I did Owen's, I just did Matt's. I'm a people pleaser. I'm here to please y'all on the other side of this screen. So, favorite fishing memories. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do both bad and good. I'm going to sandwich this a little bit. Now you're saying, why? You have favorite bad memories of fishing? And if you do not have favorite bad memories of fishing, you have not been fishing enough. So, one of my earliest memories of fishing is going out to the stock dam in the pasture, and my grandpa stocked it full of yellow bullheads way back when, because he liked catching them, liked eating them. And one of my fondest memories, one of the earliest memories that I have of fishing, is going out there with the family, casting a line in, and practically every cast getting a bullhead. And this place, the dam was so infested with them. They're just little tiny things, but had some big ones that are probably cannibalizing on everything else. But it was a ton of fun. Talking with my dad, he's like, yeah, it wasn't a lot of fun for me because I really didn't get a chance to catch any, because I was baiting hooks and taking bullheads off of lines and everything. I do vaguely remember eating bullhead a little bit. I remember it being a little fishy. Thinking back on it, I'm like, oh God, we ate that. I was like, because the livestock would be all up in the water taking big old dumps in the dam, and I'm just thinking back, it's oh my God, that is so gross. But anyway, so kind of sad part of that whole thing is that I had a drought go through one summer. Whole dam got silted in, dried out, so that was kind of a bummer. It's really not the best habitat anymore to support fish life. Although my brothers and I stocked a bunch of green sunfish in there one summer, and a couple summers later, I caught a few out of there, and I think they were new ones. They weren't the ones that we caught, so that was pretty cool. I really don't think they're in there anymore, just because it gets so choked out by vegetation, and then since it got silted in, it's pretty shallow, so it probably freezes all the way through during wintertime. All right, so going on to my another heartbreaking, kind of sad story. This is my favorite missed fish story. So what happened was, let me paint this scene for you. I'll Bob Ross this scene for you. So one summer, my oldest brother Matt and I, shout out to you, Matt. Thanks for the video idea. Love you, bro. So anyway, we were fishing this really, really solid lake over in our area. It's probably about 20 minutes away. If you know, you know. It's called Lake Isabel. So always has really good quality fish in it, from pike, bass, has some walleye in it, bluegill. I think that's really it. There's more in there, but those are like fish that get good quality size. Matt actually caught a really nice bluegill on a KVD 1.5 inch chartreuse. It's just insane that big bluegill wanted to smack that thing. Sorry, I was getting dry. A little Black Rifle coffee for this evening. So I'm out in the kayak. You know, my brother and I were taking turns. I'm out in the kayak, have my spinning rod, my cheap little spinning combo, and like 8 to 10 pound test line, I think, and tied on a gold Rapala Countdown. That's what it was. So it like sinks in the water column and is a jerk bait. So it's the gold color, and there's, I don't think it's like super shallow, but it's a little bit, so there's this little bit like shallow area where there's this island of like this like small island of cattails that come up. So I kayak out there, all stealth mode, and I'm out there. Zip that Rapala right up next to the cattails. Beautiful cast, textbook. Like, let it sink down a little bit, started cranking in. Real slow, dead rolling it. Like maybe 3 to 4 handle turns in. Bam! Freight train. Hit my lure. And next thing I know, my rod is doubled over, like over the side of the kayak, tips in the water. Like my kayak's getting pulled. And I know that this is a big fish. And just how it hit, how it swam, like how it just like dived, torpedoed. It was a pike, and it was a big pike. Seeing pictures come out of this lake of like tournaments and everything, ice fishing summer tournaments, there's big pike in there. And I hooked into a monster. I never got to see it though, because silly me, like 10-pound test against like this huge pike, and drag tightened all the way down, flipping noob over here, broke off. And that fish, I swear that fish keeps getting bigger and bigger every time I tell this story, and every time I think about it, I'm like, it's probably like a state record or something. Probably not, but man, big fish to like pull the kayak, and it just like dogged down back towards those cattails, like straight, like kind of like straight towards the bottom, and never got a chance to see it. It's a sad deal. So now that I'm teared up already. No, I'm just kidding. So this next story, so I'll paint the picture again. So this was, I wish, this is like, so this happened last summer. I wish I had a picture of this. I have a picture of the fish I caught, but I don't have the other picture. So I just got done with my internship. I drove back home and carpooled and drove back home. Is how it worked out. So had about an hour to fish before I had to be home, make supper, or help make supper, do whatever. That part is fuzzy to me. Those details are minuscule to the rest of the story. So I'm at the Dakota Nature Park in Brookings, South Dakota, which is because I went to SDSU. And there's this dock here, and I already know I have missile baits, D-bomb tied up, and you know shit's gonna happen. So I walk past this like beautiful young couple with their like 2-3 month old baby. Wasn't very big, just a little guy, and taking pictures. I was like, that's so cute. Like that's adorable. So I was like conscientious, like to not be in their photos and like respect what they were doing. So I went next to the dock, stood back a little bit from it, pitched right up next to the dock. And it's pretty deep right there. Always bluegill hanging out right there. I'm like, perfect. This is textbook pitch. Let it sink down. Gave it some line. Started popping it a little bit. Pop, reel it in. About 3 pops. Boom. Big bass hit it. And I set the hook, just ripped this bro's face off. Well, not literally. That'd be pretty bad. I'd feel awful. But anyway, got a good solid hook set, and there's like a lot of commotion because I'm excited. There's fishes splashing. I like get it up onto the bank, and I'm excited. I'm like, whoa, let's go. And like I'm getting the hook out of its mouth, and then the guy, the dad and the baby come over. He's like, oh man, that's a nice fish. I'm like, yeah, this is probably like one of the bigger ones that I've caught out of here. And he's like, oh, that's the biggest fish I've ever seen caught out of here. And I was like, oh man, that's so cool. And he's like, I didn't even know there was bass in here. He's like, I usually only catch carp. And so I'm like, oh dude, I've never caught a carp. That's so cool. Like, what do you use? And we were talking. And then he was like, and then his wife was like, oh, you want help taking a picture? So I had that picture. And she did a really good job. Kudos to you. And then the dad was like, hey, like, can we get a picture with you? Like, him and his son. He's like, because that's a big fish. And I was like, yeah, no problem. So literally it's me and the dad, like this young dad, and we're standing next to each other, and I'm holding this bass like close, like right next to their newborn son. And this like bass was like as long as just like almost as big as this baby. And it was just like, just thinking back, it's like that is such like a random like kind of funny thing. And I so wish that I had the picture, because I would have shared it with you guys, because such a great memory. Just like fishing can bring people together, and such a common ground amongst so many people that it's a cool thing. And I was showing him what I was using and like explaining a little bit like how it's used or whatever, because it's doing his Texas rig, favorite thing last summer. Oh man, but just a cool guy. The baby was adorable. It was like this nice moment that we had together. So if you're watching this, please connect with me. Let's share that picture. So this next story, this is probably the story that fires me up the most, because it was just like a shitty situation, and I was not completely aware of everything. So this is when I got a ticket. I was doing illegal stuff, okay? So it was like Labor Day weekend, and I drove 5 hours back home. My girlfriend and I were spending the weekend with the family because I hadn't seen them in a while. So we went out fishing, and we were just smacking the crappie, and like catching like nice perch and everything too at this one pond back home, around the same area as Lake Isabel actually. So we were using the crappie jigs that I tied up like the seahorses that my girlfriend affectionately calls them, and just slapping the crappie. By the time we were like, oh man, like let's keep a couple, like we had already like probably caught a limit by that point. So we kept, by the time we started keeping them, we kept 8, and we kept 2 nice perch. So got home, cleaned them up, everything like that. I'm normally catch and release. That's just like my beliefs on fishing. Just have like my own reasons for it. But typically, I just let go everything that I catch. And so I'm not very good at filleting. So by the time I did this hack job on these crappies, I was just like fed up with it. I was like, all right, I'm just gonna like just chop the heads off, the heads and the tails, and gutted the perch and just threw them in like that. I was like, I'll skin them and fillet them out later, like when we get back to Brookings. So Labor Day weekend, there's a lot of people out there fishing, especially, we lived like 45 minutes from the river, so people are out there walleye fishing, slapping them walleye. And we were driving down the highway, and where the highway turns, like, splits off into a byway just for one town. Game fishing parks. Them sons of guns were there. They were stopping everybody, and they were like, "Are you fishing?" Like, "Oh, did you catch anything?" I was like, "Yeah, I was fishing. I caught some stuff." And so, they're like, "Mind if we check everything?" And I was like, "Yeah, no, go ahead." Fishing license, driver's license, concealed carry permit. I showed him everything, showed him the fish, and I just thrown the crappie fillets all in one bag, and I threw it in the freezer. And so apparently that's not the thing to do. Apparently for South Dakota, you're supposed to have 2 fish per bag, or 2 fillets per bag, because that's 1 fish. So just so they're readily able to be counted and stuff like that. I was not aware of this. I must have missed over it in the flipping rule book. And so he was like, "Well, we can sit, we can wait here." He's like, "I believe that you have 8 fish in here just based off of this, but you can't have a frozen chunk of fish like this." I was like, I understand. And he's like, "Well, I can throw it in water and we can let it thaw out, but either way I was getting a ticket." So I was like, but if I would have like waited, we would have got the fish back, but I would have still got the ticket. So I was like, "You just keep it. Just give me the ticket." I couldn't even pay for the ticket. I called my mom after that, and I was like, "Mom, this is what happened. I'm a dumbass. Like, can you help me out?" And I love you, Mom. Thanks for paying that $80 ticket for me. You're the best. Still gets me fired up to this day. Just because, like, I was stupid, but I also wasn't, like, it's not like I had an over limit. I was just, like, not transporting them right. There was this one guy in front of me, though. He was pissed. He had a big diesel pickup, and he rolled coal out of there. He was so mad. That was kind of funny. But the next story, I'm sorry, I don't want to make this video too long. Next story, like, same place we were fishing, but, like, earlier than that. It was like the October before, and it was starting to get like really like getting colder and everything. So it was my girlfriend, me, my best friend Austin. Shout out to you, Austin. Love you. And my fur baby Clyde. And Clyde only has 3 legs, and he is such a cutie. So we were out fishing, and Clyde was getting cold and everything. So we were thinking about packing it in. Tried everything. Tried like every lure in the tackle box kind of days. Couldn't get like a whole lot to bite. Caught like a couple crappie, a couple perch, some small bass. And I was like, "Well, Maddie, let me tie on this big hair jig for you. It's like 1/2 ounce." And I was like, just keep pitching it up towards the cattails, because it's a really deep pond. So up by the cattails, it's still like really deep. And like coming out from there. And next thing you know, she hooked into a big bass. It was pretty big. It was probably about 2.5 pounds. And I was so excited. I was hooping and hollering. I was like, got the net, scooped it up. We took pictures. Clyde was like interested in the fish. He was sniffing it and, licked it a couple of times. And he was in the pictures too. But yeah, sadly, Clyde is no longer with us. That was a hard point in my life. that my girlfriend helped me through, because, you know, when you have animals like that, they become your family. But other than that, that was beautiful fish. She's caught bigger bass since then, or about the same size. She's actually caught a bigger smallmouth. Her smallmouth PB is bigger than her largemouth PB. So her PB smallmouth, the first one she's ever caught, was 3 pounds. And here I am, never caught a smallmouth in my life, and she's over here. She's using her hook and nightcrawler, catching everything that swims in the ocean and the sea and the lakes. Now I'm over here going through the whole gosh darn tackle box, and I ain't getting nothing. But anyway, I hope you guys like this video. You know, tons more like good memories, bad memories out there, but I just wanted to share some highlights with y'all. So if you have a video suggestion, drop it down below. Subscribe. Let's get to that 100 subscribers by December. And when that happens, I'll do a giveaway. I will like give one of y'all like a swim bait that I've made, like, or a rat wake bait, whatever. Like, or we'll go fishing together. Come on, let's do it. But you have y'all selves a fantastic rest of your day, night, whatever. I appreciate everyone for sticking with me and watching it this far, because these get a little long-winded and I kind of get off on tangents, and it's bad. I could talk about fishing all day. Anyway, have a great time, and I'll see you next time.